Welcome to another exciting episode of MiniGrinder Paints Live. I'm your host, the MiniGrinder. If you're just catching up with me, this is Reaper's Narthrax from last show. As you can see, quite a bit of work has been done on him. The scales, wings, pretty much all the base layers are down. But still a bit of work to do, and that's what I'm going to cover today. Some of you might say, what more do you possibly have to do to this? I mean, it looks pretty good already. The answer to that is quite a bit, actually. For starters, how about those wings? As you're going to inspect for yourself, there's clearly a lot left to do. I'm going to start with those wings there, and then I'm going to move on to doing the skin. And then I got to do all the bony bits, and the underbelly, and those eyes. Then I'm going to wrap it up with some extra details like those stripes on the sides there. And there. So I hope you join me as I finish painting Reaper's Narthrax. So I'm going to show you the trick to create very well shaded wings for your dragons. I've already done a little bit of one right here. So that's the objective basically. Something that looks sort of like this. Not just a flat color. Flat color is not fun. Blended color is fun. So to do that, we're going to need a little bit of red brick. And some fire orange. So we're just going to take a little bit of fire orange. And change there we go. We're looking for like one shade down from where it was at. Right? There we go. I found it. Found it. You see the colors just starting to change. Now, add a little bit more fire orange. Now we're searching for the next tonal shade. There it is. I mean, it's a guesstimate. Right? Yeah. Now, at the moment, it's kind of a dry brush. I need a little bit more moisture. I'm just going to grab some from that sponge right there. See, I didn't grab very much. And right now, what I'm actually doing is removing the paint from my brush. I want to control the amount of paint that goes on. And how wet it is. Just a little bit. You want seamless color transition. We're going to find the next shade. It's right around there. Now, the paint that's on there is already kind of moist. So I don't really have to moisten up the brush or anything. Actually, you got to kind of watch at this stage because you can actually rub the paint off. There you can see it. Grab a little bit more fire orange. Maybe a little too much. It's okay. That's it right there. Again, no extra moisture was needed. There's already plenty on the model. Don't overuse your water. It's not necessary to use so much water. For a long time, I was a big advocate of no water, but it clearly has its uses. All right, so we're going to base those finger bones with fire orange. The brush is well loaded. I don't want to put too much on it quite yet. I'm leaving a little line in between there, sort of like they are bones. Take a couple of layers to get a bright orange color. Take a moment to inspect both left and right wings. You'll notice the left wing is slightly more detailed. That's right. I went back in and detailed it more. Because that's what I do. Check it out. Ooh. And for this, I find a groove. I just pull up. Again, water, flick, wipe. Every time. If you get to it fast enough, you can wipe away the mistakes. I was going to put veins and stuff on it, but I don't want to muddle up all this extra detailing. And sometimes simple is much more catching to the eye. This is why you should own a liner brush right here. You can't do this with a detailer. Not as efficiently. I should say you can do it with a detailer, but why fight it? I just felt that this was way too bright, so I went ahead and shaded it down. I knocked it down on just a notch. So first we're going to add in a little bit of texture. So here's some moist, thin, not too thin, red brick coloring. You see here at the top it's a little bit more darker than here at the bottom. That's just to sort of create some kind of depth, sense of depth. So here, starting at the top, just kind of with a dry brushing kind of feel. Okay, not quite there yet though. As you can see on this side, it's a little bit more muffled. And so what we're going to need to do is kind of a little bit of a wash. You still don't need much water. You can test to see if it's transparent enough on your palette. If it does that, puddles up, it's wet enough. Maybe a little bit more wet. There we go. There we go. So we need to start working on these horns, spikes, things, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and base them with dark skin. We're going to get a really dry, very lightly loaded, slightly moist, angled dry brush. Loaded. It's better to start with too little than too much. There it is. You can feel it when you get the sweet spot. You see, I'm slowly building it up. Now I'm just going to take my 5-0 liner with some dark skin and line around the base of the claws and spikes. Then I'll freehand the lines. So water, wipe, and wet. We're just outlining the ends of the finger bones. Just the tips of them. And here we are. These wings are mostly finished. Thankfully, there's not a lot of skin on the body of the dragon. So this part's actually going to be pretty easy. But what skin is on there is on the face and on the paws, for the most part. And then in the armpits. So as you can see, just like I did with the wing, I'm just slowly adding one shade on top of the next, right? And so now I'm at the point where I don't really want too much mixed with that orange. I put out some fresh orange and I wash the brush. What a nice slight mixture. A little bit of moisture. There we are. Just highlighting. I want these whiskers actually to be much brighter than what they are. I'm not even concerned about the eye. I'm painting it right now. I can always just paint it black and start over. And we may as well just go ahead and base layer these spines with dark brown. And all the teeth and horns. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to go ahead and paint the inside of the mouth. I've taken some red brick and I mixed some aged bone in with it. Lighten it up. And just a dry brushing motion in there. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, I've based the tongue with a little bit of red brick. Now I'm going to lighten it up ever so slightly. Now some more. Let's go all in. Just like that. Hork. It's a red dragon hairball. What's a red dragon hairball made of? Just gonna grab a little bit of aged bone here. Just a little bit. We're gonna dry brush those horns. Spikes, whatever, you know. Now these ones are gonna be easy. A little bit of moisture. Not that much. I said a little bit. There we go. Oh, what nice smooth coverage. I'm not going to take it all the way down to the base. Already a little bit of moisture on the horns. Go grab some more. And finish it up. There. Now I'll come back after this is dry and I'll hit it again with a dry brush. I think I might actually go in with a detailer. I think that's a smart idea, honestly. Yet I continue to do this. I just wanted to see what it would look like. It looks awesome. Grab some of that moisture. That's awfully bright. We're going to have to tone that down. Those pearly whites. It's looking pretty good. But just a little bit more to do on all these horns and stuff. So just like we did on the wings, we're going to get our liner out, our 5-0 liner. And some dark skin. Wash, wipe, and wet. Perfect. Just pulling up from the base. And of course, the horns on the head, too. Just gonna dirty up those nails. Who does your claws? Your claws look great. And for the underbelly, it's based in dark skin, and I'm doing a dry brushing of aged bone. Thinning the paint slightly. 2-0 liner. Just damp moisture to thin the paint with. Very little. Pulling out the detail brush. 5-0. I got out some Phoenix Red. Oh, that was ominous. Silly train. Using some sun yellow. That looks amazing. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but seriously, dude. That looks so great. Some pure black. See how I use my pinky to anchor my hand. It keeps it steady. Wonderful. So I know I wanted to add some black stripy bits, and I did it on the other side. I figured I'd show you what it looks like. I try to take patterns from nature and recreate it. Now I'll just pick scales on my way up. It doesn't really matter which ones. The higher I go up, the thinner I want the stripes, though. I'm only going to go up to these lateral scales. Along the belly, and then the tail, or something altogether different. That image right there. Roar! No piece is truly ever finished, but this guy's looking pretty done. If you'd like to see those finished pictures, you can stop by my Facebook page or Google Plus page and check her out. If you like what you saw, then like it. And if you care, then share it. If you got a vibe, subscribe. It truly motivates me. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, BigDwarfGames.com. And you definitely won't want to miss the next episode where I base this guy with a volcanic theme base. Until then, have a good day.